Protect your car with 3W Liners all-weather floor mats. Made from durable materials like TPE and rubber, our mats are designed to withstand rain, snow, and mud with deep grooves to trap dirt and liquids. For a custom fit and advanced protection, visit 3W Liners. That's the number 3, WLINERS.com today. At Acasis, innovation drives us. Since 2008, we've been creating cutting-edge technology products that make your life easier. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit Acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com. Unlock a world of convenience with Maye Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. From gourmet snacks to unique finds, each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. We are Rogue Media Sports.
Hello, yes, it is me. It is the Cam Show on this March 5th on Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm your host, Cam Stewart. Zach Burke keeping us on the air as he does every weekday, live at high noon Eastern time on YouTube. And then after that, guess what? Wherever you get your podcasts is where we will be. And with segments on YouTube as well. Today, we're talking Patriots and the news of Davante Adams getting cut by the Jets and how that might help this offseason for the Patriots as they look hard at wide receiver. Plus, the Bruins trade deadline. It's right there. They've already started moving. What that Trent Frederick deal means, not just for that return, but what it could mean for the full house, firehouse sale that they're about to have, and how that could make things even better for the Bruins. And then we might even take a look at the NHL draft lottery odds, because all of a sudden the Bruins are very much more in that picture than they are in the Eastern Conference playoff picture. All that and more coming up on this episode of The Cam Show. As has become tradition here on The Cam Show, we're only on an hour every day, but now it's become a tradition on this show that as soon as I slam the laptop down, take the dog out for a WALK after the show ends, some big breaking news comes across. And yesterday we were talking about the free agent targets that the Patriots should look at wide receiver, namely Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Cooper Kupp, in some order if Cooper Kupp becomes a free agent. And then, of course, right after the show ends, the news comes across. The Jets cut Davante Adams. Not much of a shocker, but it hadn't happened yet. And now he's out there on the market. And this is a very intriguing name to be out there, if you ask me. Davante Adams. Old, some might say. 30, 32, I want to say, turning 33 here pretty soon. Actually, no, December, he turns 33. 32 years old. And has this real connection with Aaron Rodgers. I don't know why that would still be the case, but apparently it's still the case. Davante Adams is cut by the Jets. Now all it costs you is money, and he's still obviously a productive receiver, and he can still be a game-breaking receiver, which is exactly one of the things that Drake Maye needs. A big-name receiver, like you talk about T. Higgins, and that's all well and good. T. Higgins, a lot of potential. Now he's off the board. Davante Adams is a number one receiver. There's no doubt about it. There hasn't been a doubt about it in a long time, right? T. Higgins, we don't know if he's a number one receiver. Chris Godwin, I still like all across the board, but is he a number one guy? He's played with Mike Evans his whole career. T. Higgins has essentially played with Jamar Chase his whole career. We don't know with those guys. We do know with Davante Adams. But there's all kinds of things that would point to, the Patriots should have interest, but does Davante reciprocate that interest? And I was watching Early Edition last night. Burt Breer basically said there's no chance, Adam, unless you want to overpay, which we'll get to in a minute. But Phil Perry comes in and talks about the Aaron Rodgers of this all, because apparently everyone seems to think that he's going to go wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, which he's done before. Here's what Phil Perry had to say about that.
First of all, shame on him if he's going wherever Aaron Rodgers is going to go just because Aaron Rodgers is there. That guy shouldn't even be guaranteed a starting quarterback job next year. He just saw that movie. He was a part of it. 114 targets. He had a great year. 85 catches. He can still play. I think he can still play. But if you're determining where you're going to take your next step in your career because your buddy who really can't play anymore is going to be the starting quarterback, potentially, I don't know what to say about you. Listen, all of what Bert said to me sounds completely reasonable. Tom, if you want this guy, you're just going to have to try to pay through the nose. That's really your only option.
So I thought I was the only one thinking this. I know he's done the Aaron Rodgers thing. He obviously played with Rodgers when Rodgers was in his prime in Green Bay. He gets the big money from Vegas. And then when he's out of there, he's like, I want to go where Aaron Rodgers is going. But you just saw this happen. Aaron Rodgers is no longer Aaron Rodgers. If you just watched the week 3 against the Patriots and heard, the Thursday Night Football crew just fall all over themselves talking about how great Aaron Rodgers is and how he's back, you would think that, okay, yeah, maybe he wants to go wherever he goes. But then you watch the rest of the season. They were, 5-win football team, 4-win football team, just as bad as the Patriots. In fact, they lost to them when Davante was on the team. So I don't understand how Davante Adams just goes through a whole season of that. And it's like, you know what? I've got years left here. I've got productive years left, and I stand to make a lot of money in this free agency. But you know what? I really want to go wherever Aaron goes. Really? That's what you're going to hitch your wagon to? And as Phil points out at the end there, like, we don't even know if Rodgers is going to be a starting quarterback next year. That's a real concern. And if he is, and the hot name right now for Rodgers is the New York Giants, because they don't know if they want to go up for Shador, if they could just go and get a veteran free agent guy. Of course, for Patriots fans, you're hoping that's not the case. You're hoping they do go and draft Shador so that Travis Hunter can fall to you. But that's a real concern right now, is that the Giants might go out and get Aaron Rodgers. But like, then you're doing the same thing. Like the only difference between the Jets and the Giants right now is the color of the uniform, the locker room that you're in within the same stadium. They are the same franchise right now. It's an absolute dumpster fire. You're going to win 4 games. So, yeah, you can tandem up with Malik Neighbors and you get to be with your buddy Aaron Rodgers, but like that organization is awful right now. Now, what the Patriots can give you, also in a bad spot, a good young quarterback who's actually going to be guaranteed to play, who has a ton of talent, and you're gonna get the ball. There's 2 things you're going to get if you come to the New England Patriots, Davante Adams. You're going to get a whole lot of money, like $30 million probably, and you're going to get the football. You might see it as there's going to be a lot more attention on you from the defense, but there's also going to be a lot more attention on you from the offense. There is no Garrett Wilson here. There is no Malik Neighbors. You're going to get the ball. You're going to be the only one getting the ball. You're going to be the focal point of this offense. And on top of that, there's people, talking about the relationship that he had with Josh McDaniels in Vegas. And I feel like that meme of the guy saying the worst person made a great point, because a lot of analysts have talked about that and how bad it ended there for both guys in Vegas. Obviously, McDaniels gets canned. Davante forced his way out the next year, and there was some friction there. But Greg Bedard, worst guy makes a great point. Greg Bedard makes a good point here. He said yesterday, well, there is a very big difference in a relationship between player and head coach and player and offensive coordinator. Like, Davante fit really well into that Josh McDaniels offense, which isn't too dissimilar from what they were running at Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers for years. And so now that relationship being fostered as wide receiver and offensive coordinator versus wide receiver and big boss of the football team, that's a lot different. Bedard also went on to say, I think it was a little overblown what people thought of this relationship being a bad deal. So do I feel like the Patriots are the front runners to get Davante Adams? No, I don't. It's going to take a lot. But the one thing they can do that some other teams can't is they're going to pay out the ass to get this guy. They were about ready to throw $30 million at T. Higgins. Like, it's a crazy number. It's way more than they ever paid for Brady. But that's what this league is now. They know that's what it takes to go out and get a number 1 receiver. And Elliott Wolf sure knows a heck of a lot about him. And there were talks of Davante talking with some Patriots people at the combine. But like that's what the Patriots can give you. They're not going to get you into a Super Bowl this year for a guy who's never played in one. They're not going to be on the West Coast, which it sounds like that's what he wants. But what they can give you is a good young quarterback who is guaranteed to start, unlike Aaron Rodgers. And they can give you $30+ million. And they can give you the football. So that it's not for nothing. I think they're probably far down on his list. But what he could do is, let's play out the dream scenario, because right now it looks like, we're hearing the term that New England is Siberia for these NFL players. They don't want to come and play here. The facilities aren't that great, apparently. It's in the middle of nowhere compared to if it was in Boston. There's all these kinds of things, right? But if the dream scenario happens, you pay $30 million and get Davante Adams in a Patriots uniform, that changes a lot of things, I think. Right? Because now you're not just selling them on the good young quarterback of Drake Maye. And this is any position on the football field, by the way. You're not just selling them on the good young quarterback with team control. You're selling them on that and an all-pro wide receiver. So now we've got a legitimate connection here. And you've got the guy with the keys on the offense with Josh McDaniels that you want to have the keys of the offense. That changes the perception of this team for a lot of free agents out there. A lot of them. But it'll probably go to the Chargers, if we're being honest. The guy likes the West Coast. And if he's not going to go play with Aaron Rodgers, that's probably Rodgers or the Chargers, if you will. I do want to point out one more thing, because yesterday on the show, I talked about how much I actually sneaky like these wide receivers that are going to be available. This is before Davante Adams got cut. And those guys being Chris Godwin and Amari Cooper in free agency, and potentially Cooper Kupp in free agency if he gets released by the Rams. I like all three of those guys. Godwin's coming off a big injury, and that is something of a red flag that the team that's had him for his whole career is not willing to franchise tag him and ready to let him go to market after this injury that made him miss more than half the season. Made him miss 10 games last year when he was on pace for a career year. Was on pace to break his personal best for receptions and potentially yards as well. But I look at these stats. Davante Adams, I think, still has a lot left in the tank. And this is not apples to apples, right? One of them's coming off an injury. There's a difference in age here. But Davante Adams had a good year last year with the Jets. He didn't have 85 catches like Phil Perry said in that clip earlier. He had a good year. He had 114 targets with 67 receptions. That's a lot left out there on the table. Maybe that's a sign of the quarterback that's throwing to him, Aaron Rodgers. But that's 47 targets that he did not come down with. It's not that crazy for a receiver that gets looked at that many times. But 47 is kind of a big gap there. So he gets 67 catches on 114 targets for a gap of 47 balls in there that he doesn't come down with. Let's look at Chris Godwin's last full year. 83 catches on 130 targets. Quick math here. That's 47 balls in the gap. The difference between his receptions and targets, 47. The same as Davante Adams last year. And he had more catches and had more targets in his last full season and had more yards than Davante Adams did, and what we all considered to be a good positive year on a bad team last year. And that 23 Bucs team, they were okay. I think they snuck into the playoffs, but it's not like they were this great team. So maybe, just maybe, you can get Chris Godwin at a lower price. He is going to be the number 2 free agent on the market here at wide receiver. But you're going to be able to get him at a lower price with maybe some more tread on the tires and get about the same production that you would get for Davante Adams. And maybe that allows you to go out and get someone else, Amari Cooper Kupp. Like I was saying with T. Higgins, you can make up that production in the aggregate of those guys who are going to be on the free agent market. That could be the same case for Davante Adams too. Huge name. And the Patriots need all the help they can get, and a huge name would really help them. It would help them on the field. It would help them in free agency. It would help them in a lot of different ways. But there's also a way for them to play their cards right and get similar production, if not the same or better production, at the same value and improve their team, which is the bare minimum of what they need to do right now. They need to improve their team. So is Davante Adams going to come here to New England? Probably not. But there is a good chance you can lure in a Chris Godwin and a Cooper Kupp, and you're getting more production at the same price. Just my thoughts on the matter. One team that really needs to get better in this city is the Boston Bruins, and they need to do it fast. It's going to probably take a lot longer than fans hope, but the seeds are already being thrown out there for how they can make this team better. We'll tell you who is not going to be on the team by Friday afternoon. We'll do that next on The Cam Show.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Unlock a world of convenience with Maye Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Experience the joy of surprises. Subscribe today at mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com. Unlock your full potential with On It, your go-to for premium supplements, fitness gear, and wellness essentials. Whether you're training hard, recovering faster, or just looking to feel your best, On It has the tools you need to perform at your peak. Visit Onnit, that's ONNIT.com, and elevate your mind, body, and spirit today. At Rolls Rolla, we don't just sell wallpaper, we create cohesive, cozy spaces. Our deep understanding of design means every pattern, color, and texture is carefully chosen to complement your home. Plus, we use advanced technology and water-based inks for vibrant, eco-friendly prints, ensuring a healthier environment. Visit rollsrolla.com to transform your space today. That's ROLLSROLLA.com today.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
Ready to bring your vision to life? At Small Rig, every idea, design, and product is inspired by you, the creator. With our industry-first under co-design mode and the Dream Rig free customization project, we unite with global creators to turn big dreams into reality. Whether it's a cage rig or mount, Small Rig's versatile gear is built to elevate your craft. Small Rig, where your creativity meets our innovation. Go to smallrig.com.
Calling all Marvel fans, get Marvel Unlimited and unlock over 30,000 comics featuring your favorite heroes and iconic stories, all available to read anytime, anywhere. Whether you're into classic tales or the latest adventures, there's something for everyone. Don't miss out. Head to marvel.com/unlimited today and start your Marvel journey now. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss.
Oh, we're back. It's the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. It's Cam Stewart, Zach Burke, keeping us on the air. We're here every weekday, high noon Eastern time, live on YouTube, and then wherever you get your podcasts, which I think it's pretty cool. I don't know about you guys. I think that's pretty cool. What I also think is cool is that the Boston Bruins have given up. Not that any of us wanted them to just give up, but it was probably for the best. It starts in the game last night. How many times have we said it this year? Like, if you need a get-right game in the NHL in 2024, 2025, you are just licking your chops when the Boston Bruins are on the schedule. I mean, you welcome in one of the only teams in the league that's worse than you. Genuinely. Like, by far and away, the biggest disappointment of the season. Like, if they did yearbook superlatives, the only saving grace that the Bruins would have for biggest disappointments of the season would be the Nashville Predators. They come into your building last night and score 6 goals. They hadn't won a road game in over a month. Win a road game last night. Steven Stamkos, the Hall of Famer, hadn't had a point in 13 games going into this. Of course, a goal and 2 assists against the Bruins. Like, you've got to be... Like, this was such a joke, man. They got thoroughly outplayed in the first period. After they scored the first goal, they got their ass kicked after that. It was like 15-4 in shots at the end of the first. And I found this to be a great microcosm of the season. But Tuukka is on the broadcast last night, and they ask him, they ask him, after a period like that, and you're the goalie, like, do you have to go in and really, like, lay into the players a little bit after a period like that? And he said, in all my years playing in the NHL, which was, 13 years or so, he goes, I probably had to do that a handful of times, maybe 3 or 4 times in his whole career. And then he kind of meekly says at the end, he goes, but this would have been one of them. He goes on to say, in my day, we had a leadership core that probably wouldn't have allowed that to happen, first off. And second off, it wouldn't have gotten to me to have to say something. Zdeno Chara, he didn't say this next part, but Zdeno Chara would have said something. Patrice Bergeron would have said something. Andrew Ferentz would have said something. Mark Recchi would have said something. And one of the guys on those teams would have been Brad Marchand. So I don't know. Clearly there's clearly some sort of lack of leadership in that locker room. I mean, there's no way a team could be this bad and not have it. In fact, I think you could say the same thing about the team on the other side. Here's Nashville with all these Stanley Cup winners and good veterans, right? I mean, not only did you have a face of the franchise in Philip Forsberg, and you had a longtime captain in Roman Josi and UC Saros in goal, but then you went out and got Ryan O'Reilly, Stanley Cup winner, Conn Smythe winner, Steven Stamkos, 2-time Stanley Cup winning captain, Jonathan Marchessault, Stanley Cup winner, Conn Smythe winner. And they're at the bottom of the barrel right now. So we all love Marchand. We all love McAvoy, and we love Pasternak, but clearly something is not connecting in that locker room. And it takes a legend of this franchise, Tuukka Rask, who has been through those locker rooms, to say, something is not right here. Something is not right. And obviously the boos were really loud again last night. There were Fire Sweeney chants at the end of the game. And how can you blame them, man? I mean, truly, how can you blame them? The only good part about the Bruins' day on Tuesday was that before the disastrous loss to Nashville, they finally made a trade. It's one that I've been begging for a long time. They trade Trent Frederick to the Edmonton Oilers. It's a 3-team deal with that gets Jersey involved to get kind of the salary of Trent Frederick. And the Bruins end up getting a 2nd-round pick from Edmonton and a prospect. So I'm sitting there. I didn't even see the prospect, who's this big right shot defenseman who sounds like he's fairly close to the NHL. Not that he's going to be this great player or anything, but it sounds like he's close to being able to play in the NHL. But to just hear a 2nd-round pick for Trent Frederick, I'm in. I'm great, because Trent Frederick was useless this year. Absolutely useless. The guy who scored 20 goals last year. And this year he's got 15 points. and he's a minus 14. And I'm done with the bullshit that he's tough to play against. The only thing that Trent Frederick is good at this year, quite frankly, is grabbing guys. After the whistle, just grabbing a guy by the collar to make it look like he's this tough guy, instead of actually being a tough guy to play against and actually being an enforcer. He's not that. Okay? He's certainly not that. But Edmonton feels like, oh, we need a little bit of grit here. Need a little bit of that in our system. Go right ahead. Take a second-round pick for him. I would have taken a second-round pick straight up. You also were able to get a prospect out of it. What's it? Max Warner, I think. It all sounds like Maximum Wiener to me. But he's a big kid, over 6 feet, right shot defenseman. A lot of experts are giving it like a B plus, an A. I think it's an A. I really do. Like the Bruins are going nowhere. And Trent Frederick was giving them nothing. And what you got was a second-round pick. And it's the first time, I got to look this up because I saw this yesterday. It's the first time the Bruins have had both their first and second-round picks since maybe I didn't save it. I want to say it's 2017 was the last time they had their first and second-round picks in the draft that they could actually own. Okay? Now, they have that. Hell yeah, they have that. And there should be more to come. Because what I love the most about this Trent Frederick trade is what it opens up for other trades for the Bruins at this deadline, which is on Friday. Because getting the second-round pick for Trent Frederick by itself, like that's great. But to then see the prospect that you got, again, is he going to be something special? I don't know. But this kid Warner, he's 21 years old, big guy at defense. We know that's literally all Don Sweeney and Cam Neely care about is guys who are big. He wasn't going to make the Oilers this year. That's a team that's probably going to win the Stanley Cup, I think. He's been having a pretty good year in the AHL, which I think Bakersfield is their AHL. And the people raved about him down there in the AHL. And so what that sounds like to me, a big right shot defenseman, not going to give you a ton offensively, but is pretty steady defensively. To me, that's Brandon Carlo. That's a younger, poor man's Brandon Carlo. So what that also means is that Brandon Carlo should be available. And at 29 years old, even though he's coming off a bad season and a half here, that trade value at 29 for Brandon Carlo is exponentially better than his trade value in a few months when he turns 30. Just the way that it is. And I've seen people, Bruins fans, not the anonymous accounts who just love everybody, the ones who think that this Trent Frederick deal was bad, but actual Bruins talkers saying, I don't know if it's so easy to get rid of Brandon Carlo because he does a lot of dirty work for this team that we don't see. And I do believe that. I do believe that's true. But I think that helps his trade value a ton. That's what contenders are looking for right now. A lot of them are looking for stay-at-home defensemen who can cover up a lot of dirty work and can play the penalty kill. And that's what Brandon Carlo can do. He can't handle the puck if his life depended on it, and he's not going to give you any kind of offensive output at this point in his career. But he's got another year of team control, and he can give you some actual defensive grit that you would need for a Stanley Cup run. So if Trent Frederick, with his 15 points this year, can yield you a second-round pick, I'm looking at all the positive attributes of Brandon Carlo, and I'm thinking, you can get a first-round pick for this guy. And in fact, I wouldn't even stop there, because after I see a second-round pick for Trent Frederick, I'm looking at Brad Marchand, future Hall of Famer, can play special teams still, and can give you some real offense, tangible offense. Guy who's won the Stanley Cup. I can get a first-round pick for that guy. I can get a first-round pick and a good young player for that guy. Morgan Geekie, 20 goals, setting up Pasternak. You can get a first-round pick for that guy at the trade deadline. They just throw this shit around. It's like tax. Just throw around first, second round picks. Charlie Coyle, veteran, two-way center, sometimes wins faceoffs, can play the penalty kill, loves scoring on an empty net. Am I crazy to think you could maybe even get a late first-round pick for that guy? And maybe it's a first-round pick 2 or 3 years from now. Crazier things have happened. And there's another avenue for the Bruins to add even more draft capital or even make an even better move. Charlie McAvoy. He's not going to say trade Charlie McAvoy. No, I'm not. But Charlie McAvoy, what's the use of bringing him back this year? To me, there's none. Don't bring him back. So if he's really still hurt, we're seeing teams do it. Vegas does it every year. The Panthers are now doing it with Matthew Tkachuk. Let's circumvent the cap here. They're doing it to make a playoff push. The Bruins, if they're smart, could do it to really help out their future. Because let's take a trip down this hypothetical lane here. Let's say you put Charlie McAvoy on long-term IR. Then you've got all this cap space freed up. The Panthers are doing it so that they can add someone for the stretch run. The Bruins could do it in order to trade one of these guys, whether it's Morgan Geekie or Charlie Coyle or Brandon Carlo or whomever, to say, you know what? We'll give you this guy, and we will take one of your shit contracts off your books. You got an expiring contract, it's a big cap hit, or maybe he's going to be an RFA after this year. We'll take that off your hands. It's going to cost you a first-round pick, but we'll take that cap hit. Charlie McAvoy, pretty big cap hit that's going to go on long-term IR. You can take someone else's dog shit contract in order to get a first-round pick for someone who might not yield a first-round pick. Or maybe it's a good prospect, something like that. And there's also the options of packaging these guys. I'll give you Morgan Geekie and Brandon Carlo. But yeah, it's going to cost you a good prospect and a first-round pick for your Stanley Cup run. You know, Colorado, you need some secondary scoring. You need some more steadiness at the back. How about I give you a Colorado native and Brandon Carlo? Give you Morgan Geekie too? You're throwing around picks anyway. You're going all in on this thing. Let's have a first-round pick and a prospect. But this long-term IR thing could actually work in the Bruins' favor if they're smart. And again, I don't know the likelihood of them trading Brad Marchand because it's just not the kind of stuff that they do. But that could really, I think that trade that you just made for Trent Frederick, with Trent Frederick, to send Trent Frederick away, should really open your eyes about the value of the guys that are on your roster as it pertains to the trade deadline. Because as we know, when it comes to trade deadline time, people are willing to overpay. It happens all the time. There is all kinds of options for the Bruins here. And I know a lot of fans don't want to explore that, but this is where you're at right now. And if you did a fire sale like this, it's going to look like, it's going to be a 5-year rebuild. It's going to look like what the Blackhawks are going through right now. That's what people are going to think. But if the Bruins manage this correctly, which is a big if, you might not have to waste the primes of David Pastrnak and Charlie McAvoy. If you play this trade deadline right, you could have all kinds of options going into this summer. Draft picks, some space in the cap, some capital that you can trade in terms of picks and prospects, finally have something of a prospect pool, and there you go. Now, it's going to take some serious gymnastics to get rid of Elias Lindholm. That would be like the Andre Kasha deal when you just needed to get rid of Bacchus and you traded a first-round pick to get Kasha. So maybe that's on the cards in the future. If you get some good draft capital, be like, hey, please, we'll give you this pick. Just take Elias Lindholm off our hands. We'll eat half the salary, please. But that's a long way away. And there's got to be some Elias Lindholm talk here soon. I know it's been not even one season, but I think it's one of the worst free agent signings the Bruins have ever had. But this should look like a completely different team this weekend. The Bruins really should be putting out an AHL roster when they take the ice in Tampa on Saturday. Because they're playing like an AHL roster right now. You might as well get something for them. It's going to be a totally different team come this weekend. And I think that's a good thing. Let's talk a little bit more Bruins and what this end of the season could mean for their future independent of the trade deadline. Let's do it next on the Cam Show.
Dive into adventure with scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. With over 20 years of experience, our expert staff, who've dived everywhere from the Galapagos to the Maldives, provides personalized advice to help you find the perfect gear for any underwater journey. Shop leading brands like GoPro, Aqualung, and Scuba Pro. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com. BizChair.com, your one-stop shop for premium commercial furniture that blends quality with affordability. From ergonomic office chairs to durable restaurant seating, we cater to diverse industries including corporate, medical, hospitality, and education. With over 20 years of experience, we offer fast shipping, exceptional customer support, and furniture solutions that stand up to high-traffic environment. Elevate your space with BizChair's vast selection of stylish, reliable, and cost-effective furniture. Visit us today at BizChair.com to transform your business. Level up your game with Corsair, the global leader in high-performance gear for gamers, content creators, and PC enthusiasts. From award-winning PC components to premium streaming equipment, smart lighting, and esports coaching services, Corsair delivers an ecosystem designed for peak performance. Whether you're a casual gamer or a pro, alleviate your setup with Corsair. Shop now at Corsair.com. That's Corsair.com. Corsair. At Mitzi, we believe the right light can transform any space. Born from a third-generation lighting family, we craft beautifully designed, premium lighting that's made to be affordable. Inspired by Grandma Mitzi's eclectic style, we're on a mission to make high-quality lighting accessible to all. Whether you're updating your space or adding a unique fixture, Mitzi has the perfect design for you. Beautiful, well-made lighting without the high price tag. Discover your perfect light at Mitzi.com. That's MITZI.com. Mitzi. Founded in 1910, Samsonite is the world leader in durable, high-quality luggage and travel accessories. Made to the highest standards, our products won't let you down. We give you the confidence to get out there and explore. Inspired by the past, devoted to the present, and built to inspire a multi-generational future, Samsonite is here to elevate your journey. Travel with Samsonite and pack confidence every step of the way. Shop now at shop.samsonite.com. Samsonite. The grinder mentality that Randy and Brent Habert built into 44 Pro runs deep within our team. Every member shares a passion for the craft, the game, and most importantly, the player. When you step onto the field with a 44 Pro custom glove, you'll feel the difference. It's not just a glove, it's a 44 Pro. Crafted with dedication, made for performance, and built to last. Get your custom glove today at 44pro.com and experience the 44 Pro difference. That's 44pro.com, 44 Pro. At Angel Bliss, we believe every parent's journey is a beautiful adventure. Our mission is to make it joyful and stress-free with thoughtful, safe, and innovative products. Born from a love for family, we promise peace of mind for parents and comfort for babies. From playtime to bedtime, every Angel Bliss product is designed with care, reliability, and a style to nurture the special bond between parent and child. Angel Bliss, creating happy memories, one baby at a time. Visit us at angelbliss.us. Angel Bliss. Golf Partner, the world's largest golf store network, offers more purchasing opportunities than anywhere else. With a dominant market share and a wider selection of quality secondhand golf clubs than our competitors, we make it easy for you to enjoy the game with affordable, top-quality equipment. Join us at golfpartnerusa.com and discover why we're the trusted choice for golf lovers worldwide. That's GOLFPARTNERUSA.com. Golf Partner.
Since 2003, Bluehost has been empowering people to harness their brands online with innovative web hosting solutions. Trusted by over 2 million users, we're the longest-running WordPress.org recommended host. With Bluehost, you get a safer, better web experience, supported by the world's most popular site builder, and backed by our commitment to open source projects. Visit Bluehost.com today and take your website to the next level.
Is the Cam Show. It's Rogue Media Sports Network. Scuba.com. Scuba.com. One of our great sponsors here on the Rogue Media Sports Network. I'm Cam Stewart, Zach Burke, keeping us on the air. We're here live, high noon Eastern time on YouTube every weekday. And then wherever you get your podcasts, segments on YouTube as well. I find it really funny when people comment on the live stream, like after the fact, like the full episode. And I'm just like, they're like, oh, dude, it took you to the second segment to talk about this. Why did I have to wait a half hour? It's like, brother, it's an 8-minute video. It's on the same YouTube feed right there. You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to go through all that, man. It's all right there. Anyway, the Bruins suck. And it's about time that we kind of all realize that. Those of us who watch the team every night knew in November that they sucked. Those of us who spent their hard-earned money and wasted a night driving up to Dallas, an hour and a half to Dallas to see them lose 7-2 to the Stars, we knew that they sucked and that it probably wasn't going to get any better, and that probably you had a bunch of guys last year who had career years who aren't going to have that again, A, or B, you just let them walk. Lo and behold, here we are. Jake DeBrusk having a good year for Vancouver. Danton Heinen, Morgan Geekie has improved on a career year. But none of the Trent Frederick, 20 goals. You think that was going to happen again? Charlie Coyle, 25 goals. You think that was going to happen again at 32 years old? Wow. Lo and behold, it didn't fucking happen. And they suck. And they are much closer to the top of the draft, I think, than they are to the playoff spots. Now, you look at it and you're like, Cam, they're only a couple points out of the playoff spots. Yeah, they'd have to leapfrog like 3 teams to get there. They don't have the games in hand. It's a mess. They're not making the playoffs. Now, the team even believes they're not making the playoffs. Although, when you hear them after these games, it's like they do think they're good. I don't get it. I genuinely believe in that Bruins locker room that they think they can go on a little run here and get in. It's a fool's errand. And now we have to look at where they will fall in the draft come June. Because again, I think they're closer to a premium top 5 draft pick than they are to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And in fact, your Boston Bruins do have a 12.4% chance to pick in the top 3 of the 2025 NHL draft. And that's coming from Tankathon. 12.4% chance to pick in the top 3. I'm taking those odds. I like that. Because you know who's going to be in the top 3? A franchise center who is playing college hockey close to Boston right now. That was for my BU people. James Higgins at BC is lighting up the NCAA right now. He lit up the World Juniors. He's been a part of some terrific teams at BC, a BC team that, this is not for my BU fans, a BC team that might win the national championship this year. They're that good, being pot runner-ups. But James Higgins is like the perfect fit for the Boston Bruins. Perfect. Like it's exactly what they need. He's big. He's NHL ready. He's a center. Like it's exactly what the Bruins are going to need for the next 10 years right now. And the way to kind of get there is to keep sucking. Trade the rest of your assets. Like, let's not play around with this thing. You have a slight chance, but a chance to go and get one of the best players in college hockey and a guy who has been a consensus top 5 pick this whole cycle here. Now, there are some other guys that the Bruins would like. I mean, Matthew Schaefer seems to be the guy that's the number 1 pick at this point. That's been fluctuating. Schaefer's been real hot lately, defenseman. Porter Martone was the one before, the right winger from the OHL. That is a guy who I have a deep fear that the Bruins would pick even if Higgins was on the board. He's a winger, but he's big. And again, Don Sweeney and Cam Neely, literally all they care about is having a big guy. He's 6'3", 207. Higgins is 5'11", 176. So that scares me. Roger McQueen, even more so. He's a raw guy whose stock is going down. From the Brandon Wheat Kings, one of my favorite team names. 6'5", 192. Woo! They'll fill him out. But James Higgins could be there for the taking for the Boston Bruins, which I did not expect to say even a couple weeks ago. But right now, the Bruins have that 12.4% chance to get in the top 3. This is only going to get worse, okay? You look at their schedule here. I'll pull it up to help you. I won't make you go and find it yourself. You look at these next couple games here, and you're playing at Carolina on Thursday, at Tampa on Saturday, at Florida home to Florida on Tuesday. Like, you're going to lose all of those games, and then at Ottawa at the next one, next Thursday, a team that is better than you and is competing to keep you out of the playoffs so that they can finally get back in. This is going to get worse for the rest of this year. So it's a 12.4% chance right now. The Bruins are going to fuck around and find out and get into the top 5 of this draft. And what I love the most about it is the NHL is crooked as holy hell. Okay? We've seen it before. Remember how the Penguins got Sidney Crosby? Like, it's or the Rangers probably getting a bone thrown at them to get Lafreniere a couple years ago. Like, you look at these teams that are going to be picking the top 5. Chicago is going to be one of them. They'll have the best chance at the number 1 pick. And they're obviously a major original 6 American market that Gary Bettman would love to help out. But he's helped them out. They got Bedard, and they got the number 2 or 3 pick last year. The other teams in contention, Anaheim, San Jose, Nashville, Buffalo. The NHL lives to fuck over Buffalo. Seattle, Pittsburgh, and Philly. The Bruins will have better odds than they will. So there's a chance Gary Bettman could do us a solid and get us in the top 3. And if that's the case, James Higgins. It's not the best draft ever. Like, we know. It's not those generational guys at the top, and that would suck if you tanked and didn't have that opportunity for, a guy like a Bedard or a McDavid or whomever. But James Higgins would be a perfect fit for what you need right now, what you need for the next 10 years. So I'm all in on that. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Can the Bruins sneak into this top 3? And will they be able to get Boston College Eagle James Higgins? Let me know. Like and subscribe too. I'm Cam Stewart. We've got Zach Burke here, and we've got a couple minutes. So Zach, if I may call on my producer, Zach, the great Zach Burke, the early great Zach Burke, because I don't want to say the late great Zach Burke. He's still with us. Zach, we talked a lot about Gene Hackman the other day. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember us talking about that the other day.
He died. Remember? Yeah, that's why we were talking about it.
That did happen, yeah.
I watched the Royal Tenenbaums for the first time ever last night.
Oh, really? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Damn, I was really thinking that you had seen it.
Sorry.
It's good.
I don't think I have. I was hunting down the conversation this weekend.
Is it available anywhere?
No, I'm going to have to rent it. But, I will. It's not that big of a deal.
You won't regret it.
Yeah.
You won't regret it. I will say you'll like it even more the second time.
Okay.
But it fucking rocks, dude.
Am I going to have to pay for it a second time to watch it a second?
No, what, 48-hour rental? You could watch it twice in 2 days.
Can you do that? Okay, fair enough.
I think so, yeah.
It's fun. I miss the days when I had it as long as I had and tried to turn it back into Blockbuster,
Those were the days, man.
Yeah. Those
were the days.
All right, so you and Royal Tenenbaums.
So I liked it. I actually really liked it. It might be my favorite Wes Anderson movie. I'm not a huge Wes Anderson fan. Mm-hmm. My girlfriend hates Wes Anderson. Mm-hmm. And okay, whatever. But I think he's fine. I just never had a Wes Anderson movie I loved. You know what I mean? I like I almost said The French Connection, The French Dispatch. I liked that. I liked Grand Budapest Hotel. I liked Moonrise Kingdom. In fact, my favorite movie before probably Royal Tenenbaums was Bottle Rocket, which was his first feature-length film filmed in Hillsborough. Yeah. The Wilson brothers, who were both in Royal Tenenbaums as well. And it's not really Wes Anderson. Like, he has not entered the full Wes Anderson yet. Like, it's just a good movie. Right. But yeah, Royal Tenenbaums has all the kind of features of a Wes Anderson movie and how it looks, and it kind of rocks, dude. Like, it's pretty good, and Gene Hackman's great in it. So,
well, he's great in anything. I had this.
God, he's so good, man.
It's on a different level, and I had this conversation with my wife. But
my wife,
I know I felt like Borat when I said
Gene Hackman in that movie. Think about it.
No, but that does seem like something you might have just a random appearance in, and you not even know it.
It's after Welcome to Mooseport. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, he had stopped by then.
Yep.
But Gene Hackman is very much like, I don't know if we've talked about my love and appreciation for John Goodman as an actor.
That's what's brought this up, huh?
Well, no. I'm going to make a comment, and you kind of went into it, and it's to a different level. Like, Gene Hackman, I feel, is on another level compared to John Goodman. But I've yet to see something that John Goodman is in where John Goodman was bad. Has he been in bad movies? Yes. But is there a bad John Goodman performance? No.
Sorry, I'm going to.
No.
What I don't like is
Hackman. Go ahead.
Like, this is a bad movie, but it's not John Goodman's fault. I don't like the misleading of him playing Babe Ruth. I think we've talked about it on the show before.
I think maybe a little bit.
Babe Ruth was not that fat. Okay? Babe Ruth was not playing nose tackle. Okay? He had a weird body and these little chickeny legs, and he was kind of fat for the day.
Yeah.
But John Goodman's fucking like literally a nose tackle. He's like, back then, he was like 380 pounds. Like, that was ridiculous. He's playing a 19-year-old Babe Ruth. It's crazy. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but he plays them well, though. My point, though, was, and so, like, looking through when we talked about Gene Hackman, and I know you brought up, and I'm not going to try to do a disservice, so you can bring him up again, of who you were talking about that covers movies.
Yeah.
Dang it, who were you talking about? Who said that Gene Hackman was the, he had watched them all, and
Stephen Hayden.
Yeah. The greatest actor that he had watched. I can't argue with that, because, like, looking through his filmography and then everything I've seen, and even stuff of like, oh, I need to watch that, and this weekend going and like watching trailers for that stuff and be like, oh yeah, like even if the movie's not that great, like, I can tell that Gene Hackman's going to be great in it. And so that's why it just made me think of the John Goodman thing, is I don't think that you can watch a movie, and even the trailer for the movie with him and Dan Aykroyd, like, I could watch that and be like, oh, that might be shitty, but Gene Hackman's going to be good in it.
Gene Hackman's going to give you something. I might watch Welcome to Mooseport. I wonder where that's available.
Yeah, I can find that for you. Doesn't Ray Romano have his? That's probably on Paramount for sure.
Could be. Yeah.
Is it Welcome to You said Moose? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Welcome to Mooseport. Last thoughts on the Royal Tenenbaums. I just love how much Gene Hackman just fit right in. Like, everyone else has like done a bunch of Wes Andersons before, right? There's the Wilson brothers. There's Gwyneth Paltrow and Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller breaks that mold a little bit, but Gene Hackman just fits right the fuck in. It's awesome. So
you got Prime?
I do. Yeah, it's where I watched Royal Tenenbaums.
I think it's there for the next 26 days. You better hurry up before you lose out on Welcome to Mooseport.
Yes.
There you go.
Maybe I'll try to watch that before Friday, but it might be this weekend. And we'll have to talk about it on the show.
We're going to have to. Are we still going to plan on doing the worst things we've watched on Friday? So that gives me time between now and Friday to watch stuff, and then also make it be the
I think
worst
so. Yeah. I think so. Let's try it, because I got commercials to talk about.
Okay. Because all I've done so far is I watched like a couple sports documentaries this week, and they weren't too bad. It was I watched one. Sorry, there was like 8 on 8. There was like 8 people who were inspired by Kobe or who inspired Kobe's life. It was like a 30 for 31. That wasn't too bad. And then there was the Lakers and Celtics one that Ice Cube and Donnie Wahlberg did. is the other one that I watched as Cam is just sitting here frozen.
Transform your workspace with Hanomi Ergonomics. From adjustable chairs to standing desks, we provide solutions for comfort and productivity, whether at home or in the office. Improve your posture, reduce strain, and work smarter. Visit us at hanomi.co today. That's HINOMI.co today. Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. Enjoy seamless, fast storage without compromising security. Visit internx.com today and take control of your digital life. That's INTERNXT.com today. Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Tusains, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Committed to excellence, we adopt a user-centric approach guided by ergonomics and medical science. With a team of seasoned professionals in R&D, design, and manufacturing, we prioritize quality across our entire product line. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.